spite of all of that, today they still don't have a plan. They still don't have a plan. Well, Joe Biden does. And our plan is about what we need to do around a national strategy for contact tracing, for testing, for administration of the vaccine, and making sure that it will be free for all. That is the plan that Joe Biden has and that I have, knowing that we have to get a hold of what has been going on, and we need to save our country. And Joe Biden is the best leader to do that. And frankly, this administration has forfeited their right to re-election based on this.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
Susan, thank you. And I want to thank the Commission and the University of Utah for hosting this event. And Senator Harris, it's a privilege to be on the stage with you. And our nation has gone through a very challenging time this year. But I want the American people to know that from the very first day, President Donald Trump has put the health of America first. Before, there were more than 5 cases in the United States, all people who had returned from China. President Donald Trump did what no other American president had ever done, and that was he suspended all travel from China, the second largest economy in the world. Now, Senator Joe Biden opposed that decision. He said it was xenophobic and hysterical. But I can tell you, having led the White House Coronavirus Task Force, that decision alone by President Trump bought us invaluable time to stand up the greatest national mobilization since World War II. And I believe it saved hundreds of thousands of American lives. Because with that time, we were able to reinvent testing. More than 115 million tests have been done to date. We were able to see to the delivery of billions of supplies so our doctors and nurses had the resources support they needed. And we began really before the month of February was to develop a vaccine and to develop medicines and therapeutics that have been saving lives all along the way. And under President Trump's leadership, Operation Warp Speed, we believe we'll have literally tens of millions of doses of a vaccine before the end of this year. And quite frankly, when I look at their plan that talks about advancing testing, creating new PPE, developing a vaccine, it looks a little bit like plagiarism, which is something Joe Biden knows a little bit about.
And invested in research and development so that we were an innovation leader on the globe. Joe Biden will use that money to invest in education. So for example, for folks who want to go to a 2-year community college, it will be free. If you come from a family that makes less than $125,000, you'll go to a public university for free. And across the board, we'll make sure that if you have student loan debt, it's cut by $10,000. That's how Joe Biden thinks about the economy, which is it's about investing in the people of our country, as opposed to passing a tax bill, which had the benefit of letting American corporations go offshore to do their business.
Minutes to answer uninterrupted.
When President Trump and I took office, America had gone through the slowest economic recovery since the Great Depression. It's when Joe Biden was vice president, they tried to tax and spend and regulate and bail our way back to a growing economy. President Trump cut taxes across the board. The average household income for a family of 4 increased by $4,000 following President Trump's tax cuts. But America, you just heard Senator Harris tell you, on day 1, Joe Biden's going to raise your taxes. It's really remarkable to think, Susan. I mean, right after a time where we're going through a pandemic that lost 22 million jobs at the height, we've already added back 11.6 million jobs because we had a president who cut taxes, rolled back regulation, unleashed American energy, fought for free and fair trade, and secured $4 trillion from the Congress of the United States to give direct payments to families, save 50 million jobs through the Paycheck Protection Program. We literally have spared no expense to help the American people and the American worker through this. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want to raise taxes. They want to bury our economy under a $2 trillion Green New Deal. They want to abolish fossil fuels and ban fracking, which would cost hundreds of thousands of American jobs all across the heartland. And Joe Biden wants to go back to the economic surrender to China, that when we took office, half of our international trade deficit was with China alone. And Joe Biden wants to repeal all of the tariffs that President Trump put into effect to fight for American jobs and American workers. You once again gave a non-answer. Joe Biden gave a non-answer.
Trying to answer you now.
The American people deserve a straight answer. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court. if they somehow win this election. Men and
Mr.
women,
Vice President,
I got to
I
tell you,
think
people across this country, if you cherish our Supreme Court, if you cherish the separation of powers, you need to reject the Biden-Harris ticket. Come November the 3rd, re-elect President Donald Trump, and we'll stand by that separation of powers in a 9-seat Supreme Court.
Yeah, let's
最后来总结一下今天的辩论。首先介绍一下辩论的双方。卡马拉·哈里斯出生在旧金山湾区的奥克兰，父亲是牙买加移民，母亲是印度移民。哈里斯曾经担任加州联邦参议员和旧金山地区检察总长。他在出任检察总长之前，曾与旧金山市长布朗有过交往。之所以有一个中文名贺锦丽，是在竞选检察总长的时候，为了赢得华裔选民的好感而起的。彭斯曾经担任印第安纳州长，也做过律师和脱口秀主持人。他出生于印第安纳州哥伦布市，是爱尔兰裔美国人，也是一位虔诚的天主教徒。今天的辩论中，可以说彭斯展现了自己出色的辩论技巧和独特的人格魅力。他在辩论中经常能抓住哈里斯辩词中的前后矛盾，并且巧妙地利用回答下一个问题的前半段时间来补充和强化上一个环节没有完成的答案。而哈里斯也并不是等闲之辈，表现绝对远超拜登。他懂得在适当的时候打感情牌，并且经常偷换概念和答非所问，来回避关键的要害性问题。今天的辩论非常精彩。至于有人说还是出现了一些插话和拖延的问题，其实任何国家的大选辩论都是如此。大家可以参考一下英国和台湾的例子，因为人在高压的全国直播环境之下，只能用很短的时间现场组织语言来展现自己4年的作为，还要回敬对手的攻击，这种压力和难度并不是一般人所能驾驭的。最后，我给今天哈里斯的打分是80分，给彭斯的打分是95分。那以上就是今天要跟大家分享的内容。下周我也会继续为大家带来第2场总统辩论的集锦和评述。如果您感兴趣，可以提前订阅我的频道。那谢谢您的支持，我们下期再见。